Smith and Godhigh are the outside backs, and Clemson
get bored doing their job. That's the problem.
Washington on the keeper takes it past the original, but Washington completing nearly 70% of his passes this year. That was ugly but effective as he dumped it off. Sims may be their best back, number 20. In normal terms, the fullback, and they may have just been out looking as they'll go for it again. 4th and short. Quarterback keeper, Washington. I don't think so.
I don't get the call. I don't been good defensively on the edge. They got chopped down like trees against Florida State on the perimeter. I just don't get the call of running a quarterback. 2 BCS bowl games in a row. Profile goes up, a little more money, pretty good deal.
Washington with the throw, and a beauty complete to Autry. Anthony Autry off to the races in his first career start all the way to the 30. And then
some personnel. And because Georgia Tech is so good with so many players around the line of scrimmage, you have to play a lot of one-on-one coverage. And that time, Gary Peters, the corner, had to come up to play the run and trying to defend this offense.
Jonathan Meeks missed the tackle. We have seen such poor tackling. Second call at 8 for Georgia Tech. Washington throws again. Wallace makes this glorious for Georgia Tech. Runs the option again, wants to throw again. Caught at the goal line. Touchdown, Georgia Tech.
They lost him as they broke the huddle. A corner blitz is coming, and the safety Meeks, who had missed the tackle before, you will call a corner blitz, and that's you've got to think option, I think, if you're Clemson.
Orwin Smith and Godhigh, the running backs on the wings. Smith got a block. 10-5, touchdown Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech starts from its own 25. Washington sets to throw. Deep ball this time down the sideline, and that was beautifully covered by Rashad Brady.
Offensive lineman's hands, they're not pass blocking.
That was Tevin Washington's first incompletion. They'll go to the ground on this, get maybe a yard. Third and long, Washington, nowhere to go. Clemson diagnosed that, and several others caught up.
And Jarrett does an excellent job. The right guard went for, Morgan Uzi went for a cut block, and number 50 just whipped him.
Clemson crowding the line of scrimmage, showing a 6-man front. Washington reverse pivot. Here's the toss, and out to
the exact same thing.
Janine, defensive coordinators are warriors to start with, no matter what.
Knew coming in that this year was going to be bumpy on defense.
Washington on the pitch to Orwin Smith. Smith, 40, 35, still on his feet. To the 20, running through. Just missed the tackle.
Stephon Anthony goes to the running back, and that was just a slow read. I'm not sure who had the pitch. Quandon Christian, the linebacker, as Anthony, the other linebacker, went to take the quarterback. It looked like nobody knew who had the assignment of the pitch man.
Fullback straight up the middle, and it's Zach Lasky. And Lasky came into this game only one.
But it's more about athleticism at that position than blocking in this offense.
It sure is. Lasky again. Fighting down to the 7-yard line.
And if you going down the fullback.
Yeah, if the fullback's going to get 5 yards every carry, he's going to get an awful lot of carries.
That's efficient.
Down to the 3.
The fullback.
Georgia Tech way behind on ball control. That's unusual. But this drive will help that. And Lasky down to the Washington, second in the nation in touchdowns. And here is Lasky, 37, is the B-back or fullback. Washington, his 12th rushing touchdown of the season. He leads the nation. Washington on the pitch to Smith. Nowhere to go. Taken out
by Venables just to get the guys who know what they're doing on the field.
Washington goes to the shotgun. Four-man rush, quarterback draw. He'll get 7. Trying to keep the drive going. Washington on the pitch to Smith. Orwin Smith.
The offense. So I think that they're going to need to speed up here, even though they're on the plus side of the field. But that time, Shuey and Willard, who were there on the spot earlier on that pitch, were slow.
In big plays this year, 25 yards or more, the best there is. Quarterback draw, only a yard.
And now it looks like they're completely out of the offense they normally run, too.
No sense of urgency whatsoever. Washington underneath. Down to the
stay in the option. Now they're in shotgun, and they don't look comfortable in this.
Big third down here. Nobody was covering the slot man. He was wide open. Washington throws for the end zone.
And by Middle Tennessee, he said, our energy today, the difference is night and day.
Janine, they've got a sophomore center in there, Catlin Alford. And they'll go right after him.
His defensive staff have worked on it. It's just when you see it, trust it. In the last couple weeks ago against Florida State, Anthony really struggled with that a few times.
Washington reverse pivot. He keeps it and was one step away.
Makes you think a little bit.
Blitz coming. Washington to throw. And they are right at the sticks. Wow.
First down,
and it was Zinnin out of the backfield who made the catch. And it is a first down by the nose of the football.
That was, boy, that was awfully close. Who's in man coverage on him, believe it or not. He's got to be in man because your corners are in man. Late getting that.
Washington has got the pitch, and he tosses it to Zinnin. Across the 40.
More plays. Oh, I'll make him pitch it, and then I'll go play the pitch. Well, then he cuts it up, and it's a 50-yard gain. For the Yellow Jackets.
Washington sets in the pocket, floats it on a wheel route down the sideline. That's going to be out of bounds.
And opens up the big play for the option.
Sims, the fullback, rolling on top of bodies. He was never down. Only one wide receiver to the near side. Washington, that looks like it might have been a busted play, but Washington on the run to the 10, to the 5, dragging a tackler with him to the 2. Jonathan.
Again, Tevin Washington right away saw that there was a soft spot behind the B-back Lasky, and Meeks came in, and because he grabs the face mask to start, lets it go because he doesn't want to tackle Washington by the face.
Lasky back in at fullback. Washington with the carry, touchdown. On the Outland Trophy list, number 77.
And this is just a straight fit drive block. Nice job keeping his head up. DJ Reader, a true freshman, was lined up inside, then for the clear of the line, and you dump it. Nice job by Green.
When somebody is in the wrong place, it can be a nightmare.
And the last year in this, of 9 this year, converting turnovers to touchdowns, they make you pay when you turn it over.
Sims rolls down to the 16-yard.
Up a line stunt, and it falls right in your lap.
Washington nowhere to go this time. Firing through Deshaun. Fullback straight ahead for a couple. Lone running back left, and Washington to throw. Blitz coming over the middle. And about a yard shy of the first down. Godhigh makes. Sims is the fullback. Fumble.
Back up center.
And if it's short of the line to make, they'll get it back anyway, and they do.
Because Deshaun Williams lines up right in that gap. And the center, Alford, who was in there for the injured Jay Finch, I believe he short arms it. I've been there. I was a center. New guy in the game. You've got to get some movement on a 300-pound lineman, and you fire out and you short arm the snap. Happens a lot.
Because it's a hard block for him. He's got to. All Florida fans believe they belong. Georgia Tech will go back to work. The toss to Godhigh. Makes another man miss. Godhigh, what a run. Knocked out of bounds in midfield. Ran the entire width of the field and turned it into a 25-yard gain.
And with all the white shirts, he had some blocking, but Xavier Brewer is standing there on the backside, and that was a nice job by Godhigh. Brewer tackles that for Godhigh made him whip.
3 carries, 62 yards. That was sensational. Washington gives off to the fullback, gain of 1. Well, we asked you our Affleck. The Jackets at midfield. Washington on the pitch. There goes Orwin Smith. Another huge run inside the 15.
Watch him get the hook block right at the point of attack. Excuse me. He clears to go inside, and that leaves the outside linebacker, Tavares Barnes, free to do it. And
it looked like 2 guys had the quarterback and nobody had the pitch man. And that's Lasky, the B-back, stood up behind the line of scrimmage. Orwin Smith has 119 yards rushing on 6 carries. This is Zenon. Cuts it back. Only.
And watch Crawford this time fight the cut block. Excellent job. You see him clear his feet there? The backside down in distance for them.
Good news for Tech. Uzi is back in there. That pass is incomplete, knocked away from the back.
And Tevin Washington needs to throw this ball a touch earlier. They had Willard frozen, but because that ball's a little late getting out, Willard was.
Washington in the end zone, throws almost in.
Looks almost like a zone blitz. Watch the blitz, and then the defensive end, he doesn't quite back out, but he's reading. You can see he is not on a rush. That was set up for him to either read the option or the pass. Washington had no idea that 93 wasn't rushing.
Lasky is the fullback. Pitch to Orwin Smith. It's a safety. It can blow up on you.
Penetration that time by 93 Crawford, who made the good play earlier, and Shuey, the middle linebacker, the right tackle. Bino, the left tackle, is trying to go through, but watch Shuey, the middle linebacker. Bino's going to get knocked off. A little bit of his path by Crawford, the defensive end, but Shuey was reading that right from the start. He sprinted to the spot. There was no way that Bino, even if he hadn't have been nicked, could have gotten there. That was a chancy play by Shuey, because if the ball comes the other situation, not to call that.
Washington being chased. Throws downfield. Orwin Smith with another big play to the 23.
And I think
that showing replays at regular speed is the only way to know on a bang-bang play. Quarterback swallowed up this time for a loss of 2.
Legal shift, Georgia Tech. 2 men moving at the snap. Still first down.
Boy, that's tough for them to get.
That ball was tipped, but Orwin Smith caught it anyhow at the 20-yard line.
Touchdown before this is over.
They run the option, and there is nothing there. Godhigh.
Just in time, I think, for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, 2 and 4 is certainly not good for morale. Loose ball. Washington taken down at about the 18.